Yo, what's the word, gang? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this hat is destroyed, bro. This shit got ran over. Whatever, whatever. It's your boy noluckmacK, man. I'm back with another video, and I'm gonna come clean. Yeah, I dropped like three videos yesterday and two videos the day before that. Bro, y'all got my views up. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm at like a band for the day in total. Your snap, you know what I'm saying? I think it's close to like 15, probably like 18 for like the 48-hour joint. But that Woo Cho video, yeah, y'all showed y'all ass for that, man. Y'all niggas love drama. Why y'all like drama and hood shit, man? Like, ain't nobody want to watch that type of shit all day, bro. To be reacting to it. I'm just trying to get these watch hours up, man. I'm just trying to get these subscribers up. So subscribe, man. Like, man. Comment, son. Watch the video like 10 times. Mute the shit. Change the tab. Like, yo, help a nigga get to the biggity, yo. But being that video was so successful yesterday, man, I feel like it's only right I come back with some more hood shit, man. I don't know. Y'all niggas love hood shit. But this time I had to switch it up, man. I usually do New York City shit. New York City gangs, Bronx, Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens. Because I don't know what's going on in Staten Island. But this time we're going to go across the pond. Isn't it? We're going to go across the pond, isn't it? Fam, we're going to go across the pond, fam. They got gangs in London, man. Growing up in America, you don't think that because that's not what's portrayed in the media. But now, in modern times, you got a lot of shows and all that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Drill music, they expose themselves. They show themselves. They definitely out here. So, without further ado, man, we're going to tap in with my UK brothers and see what they doing over there, man. Shout out to Swamp Stories. That's who we rocking with today. Shout out Super Wario, bro. He changed his name. Wario on the street or whatever. Let's tap in, bro. I'm about to spark my blunt, bro. My body hurt. My body hurt, bro. My damn neck is stiff.
The United Kingdom. This is a country that I never thought I would cover. The region has never been seen as tough and has been the world staple for a proper society. This, of course, is a general outside perception. So many people have no clue about the underworld that exists in the UK.
See, at all. Like, ain't too many movies growing, at least in America by now. Like, by the time you get to, like, the 90s, you already had the 70s, blaxploitation films. By the 80s, you got a lot of gangster movies coming out and shit. By the 90s, it's over. You got endless supply of hood movies. Early 2000s. So that's why that image of American black dudes being overly gangster, overly tough, like that's just the working of Hollywood, the media. You get me? Like most dudes is regular dudes, average dudes who's not involved in no type of street shit, no gang shit. The majority has no involvement in that. None whatsoever. But that's the power of the media. In London, it exists. Being there's no TV, no show, no music that we could tie it to. You don't. We know they exist in Jamaica. Why? They got the music, they got the movies, they got all this. We don't know about any other place, but we don't. Depending on the place.
Within every society, there are the haves and the have-nots, the privileged and the underrepresented. And because of this, every city has nice areas and dangerous areas as well. London is no exception. The city is home to some dangerous streets where residents have to constantly watch their back. And in this episode, you'll be able to see how wild things can get. Welcome to South London, the city's most feared area. It's located across the river from the rest of the city, truly making it its own world. Londoners from across the river rarely come
Cross the river! Cross the pond, mate. Fucking cross the pond, innit? Don't come across the pond, innit?
This is mostly because of the snobby attitude of the North and West, but it's also because South London has a history of beef. Historically, two neighborhoods have been bitter rivals. This would be Brixton and Peckham. Each of these neighborhoods are huge, like over 70,000 residents apiece. However, they're also extremely dense, so you can easily walk from one to another. This made the rivalry so much worse because members on both sides could easily interact. Well, over the years, the Brixton-Peckham rivalry got so bad that other neighborhoods had to choose a side, one of which was a small neighborhood just 10 minutes up the road. This would be Kennington, which has long been known as a better area of South London. However, Kennington does hold RGI housing, which is the equivalent of Section 8 in America, and within these buildings, things can get pretty rough. The early beginnings. The story begins in 2011 when Kennington teens began attending Tennyson Academy. Tennyson Academy is where both Brixton and Kennington teens can attend. Well, at this time, Kennington had taken sides with Peckham in the beef, and naturally, this made the two neighborhoods bitter rivals. Well, given that, you'd expect the teens to be
Come on with the ads. With the ads, man.
Rivals as well, but that's not what happened. Thankfully, all of the students were able to overlook the rivalry and become close friends. The tight friendship remained throughout high school, but that's when everything fell apart. 2014. After graduating, some of the teenagers went off to college, but those who chose not to attend decided to hang out in their respective neighborhoods. Both Brixton and Kennington had older members making tons of money hustling in the streets. So naturally, the teens fell under their wing, and this meant adopting their beef as well.
They got some pretty money.
Naturally, the teens fell under their wing, and this tons of money hustling in.
Like, look how pretty their money is. Like, their money is mad pretty. Like, it look mad long though. Like, it looks wider than the American dollar. Like, why they money so long?
Streets. So naturally, the teens fell under their wing, and this meant adopting their beef as well. As a result, the Kennington teens cut off their Brixton friends, and this did not make them happy. So the former best friends became arch rivals just like that. Well, after a while, the Kennington teens wanted their own identity, so they got together and started the HARLEM Spartans. HARLEM is slang for money, and Spartans represents what they do to the streets of South London. And this would unfortunately end up being a correct assessment. But first, let me introduce—
I ain't gonna lie, I literally clicked this video only because they was called HARLEM Spartans. I wanted to hear, like, their explanation behind that. Was it like, had something to do with Harlem and New York City, but Harlem is slang for money out there, so I'm gonna fall back.
To the original 7 members. First, you have Joshua Eduardo, also known as Blanco. Then you have Lotwan Griffiths, also known as S.A. Number 3 is Crosslawn Davis, also known as Biz. Then you have Najeez Max and LM. 6th, you have Mukhtar Mack, also known as Mizor Mack. And finally, you have Samsodine Falolu, also known as TG Milian. All 7 of the HARLEM Spartans came out of the gates as wild as can be, and right off the bat they had 5 major rivals. First were their former friends from school. This would be 150, the biggest Spartan rival of them all. They reside in Angeltown, Brixton, and they are a wild group of guys. Next you have China Walk, who represent the China Walk housing project in Kennington. Geographically, these are the most immediate rivals to the HARLEM Spartans. Then you have 061, a group of guys from the Tabard Gardens projects. Next would be 410, who hold down Brixton's Myatt's Field. And finally you have Zone 2, a feared gang in Peckham. So from the very start, the HARLEM
Okay, I'm now catching on. The Peckham, Brixton, Kensington, those are places, like towns, like little city, not city, they're in the city. But they like Brooklyn, Queens, they like boroughs, like they like towns. Cause I'm just thinking those was the gangs, but no, that's the overall hood. Like, if you was from Brooklyn, like Brooklyn is not a gang, but there's gangs from Brooklyn. I'm catching on, y'all. I'm catching
all
on.
Over South London. This made life extremely difficult to maneuver. However, the Harlem Spartans would initiate the first incident, and that takes us to Halloween 2014. On this festive day, an 061 member named David Maxwell, also known as Lil D, is hanging out in front of his hood store. That would be Pilgrimage Street, right across from the infamous Tabard Gardens. 2 p.m. A brand new Spartan named Chuds and his friend Ronnie ride out to the Tabard Gardens. On this mission, they're looking for any 061 member they can find. At 2:30, they locate Lil D right outside the store. So Chuds hops off the moped and chases him down. Not too long after, Chuds would be arrested due to
they busting maneuvers on scooters out there.
He ultimately pled down to 14 years. This was the moment when South London realized that the Harlem Spartans were serious. But aside from the streets, they also pursued another venture. In 2014, the members began recording songs in a local youth studio. Their initial songs saw local success, but nothing more than a few 100,000 views. However, that would change when the Harlem Spartans adopted a new member. This would be Jariel O'Connor, also known as Lowski. Originally, Lowski was cool with 150. In fact, you can actually see him in Sneako's music video. Well, something happened between him and 150, so he left to join their rivals. And the first thing he did was get in the booth and record a 150 diss track. In the song, he openly reveals that he was once friends with 150, but is now rocking with the Harlem Spartans.
Come on with these ass, bro. Get your money, though, bro. Get your money.
And then he takes a major shot at them. He says they say 150, but it's really 146.
Holy moly!
This is attributed to the 4 members that they recently lost: Pistol, SQ, Gauze, and Jay Milla. Of course, 150 felt disrespected, especially because Lowski used to be their friend.
Right.
But also because nor he or the Harlem Spartans had ever done anything to a 150 member. So in response, 150's rapper Styx would pull up to Harlem's block and post it on social media. Despite this attempt to make the Spartans look weak, their song exploded all over London. It eventually became the official song of the summer. This is because it was the most disrespectful drill song that South London had seen to date. Well, despite the success and fame, Lowski was still knee-deep in the streets. Just 2 months after the release of the song, he would be arrested for possession of a knife. Yes, that's actually a crime in England, and Lowski would get sent to prison for 2 years. Now, popular rapper,
God damn, 2 years for a knife is crazy, bro. The max they'll do in New York City, you know, you got a pocket. I mean, if you got like a chef knife on you, I ain't gonna front. My little brother got caught with a chef knife on him, man. They just took his shit, broke them, sent him home. Like, he was tweaking. He was tweaking for even having that. He said he got his ops or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I ain't you know what I'm saying? Young boy living his own life. But 2 years is crazy. Like I just said, my little brother just got caught with a knife right here in New York City. They just booked him, sent him home same day. A pocket knife, damn majority, not even majority, but a lot of people in New York City walk around with pocket knives. You could buy them shits in the store out here. But they said the blade can't be no longer than like the size of your 4 fingers. If it's longer than that, then you got a problem. Because you should not be having that. But niggas be having machetes out here. But they still dumping them things. They dumping them things.
Of the group needed to pick up where he left off. And that's exactly what they did. The rise of the Harlem Spartans. For the rest of 2016, the other...
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Nah, not really. I was about to say... the modern ski mask wave, you gotta give it to the UK dudes. But like in America, they was always wearing ski masks and shit. Like Plies Ben did the goon shit with the face mask. Like, but the way like it is like a fashion trend, like nah, you don't like once COVID hit, that wave really took over in New York City. Like not even New York City. I feel like the country. They say shiesty, but really, that's UK niggas. Give them they shit, bro. Stop. Like they was the ones who made that shit uniform. The tracksuit with the face mask. Like they call them shiesties now, but Them UK niggas shit. Let them get they shit, B.
Blew up more than Lowski ever had. On December 15th, they dropped a hit song called Call Me a Spartan. Then, exactly a month later, they dropped a song called Kennington Where It Started. The breakout song reached 17 million views. It ended up being a UK anthem and even caught the attention of Drake. At this point of stardom, millions of
Right, he
dollars
look
are
like
on
August
anthem
Alsina.
and even caught the attention of
Yo,
Drake.
this
At
dude
this
is
point of
washed.
stardom, millions of dollars are on the way. Concert tours, autograph signings, sponsorship deals, you name it. However, the Harlem Spartans may not have realized what they had on their hands. Either that or they were too far deep into the streets of South London. And this is why 2017 would be the beginning of their fall from grace. In March of 2017, Harlem rapper JoJo was arrested for robbery and sentenced to 7 years. And sadly, he wouldn't be the last one to go down. After Call Me a Spartan, TG Million would become a star. The ladies loved him and the streets feared him. Well, at the same time, the rival 410 started blowing up as well, often dissing the Harlem Spartans. Specifically, a rapper named 410 Blacks, and TG Million was not a fan of this. That's because he and 410 Blacks were childhood best friends. And as we know, this can add fuel to the fire. March 16th, 2017. TG Million drives out to Myatt's Field, where 410 is known to be. There, he spots his rival rapper in the car, so he rolls up right next to his window. The 410 rapper notices him and instantly speeds away, so TG Million chases him through the narrow streets of London. The 410 rapper crashes, so TG Million walks up to his window. Thankfully, the rapper Black survived, but TG Million would go down after overwhelming evidence. This was the most bold decision that the local residents had ever seen, and because of this, TG Million received 12 years. This was the third Harlem Spartans rapper to go down in under a year, and at this point, only 3 of their popular rappers were left: Biz, Blanco, and noluckmacK. This trio actually did a great job and was loved by the fans. noluckmacK was even crowned as the Beyonce of the group. On top of this, Biz and Blanco had their own unique style. They released a song called Kent that reached 4 million views. Then on April 30th, 2017, the trio released their biggest song to date. This would be a song called No Hook, which reached 8 million views. However, the fans noticed something strange. Blanco and noluckmacK are not in the video. What they later found out is that they both had been arrested in Brixton. Apparently, they took a cab ride to their ops block with a samurai sword and 2 blowers. While circling the area, the cab was pulled over and the 2 Spartans.
My nigga said a samurai sword. Like, bro just had that shit in his leg. Like,
Spartans were searched. As a result, they both received 6 years in prison. This now meant that 5 Spartan rappers are locked up, which ultimately meant that only 2 rappers were left, Biz and SA. The 2 continued to make music, but it was nothing compared to what the Harlem Spartans used to be. And on top of this, their main focus remained on the streets of South London. And that takes us to the wildest incident of them all. July 25th, 2018. Harlem rapper SA wants to go on a mission against his 150 rivals in Brixton. So being that most of his friends are locked up, he contacts the Harlem Spartans' closest allies. This would be Moscow 17. This is a feared group of guys located in Brandon Estate. Allegedly, the first person that SA contacts is the rapper Incognito, but he declines. However, a young Moscow member agrees and pulls up to meet SA. So the Moscow member drives a moped with SA on the back. They arrive in Angeltown, Brixton, and the search is on. After 10 minutes of driving around, they find 150 rapper J Band sitting in his car. So they ride up to his window and SA pulls out his blower. It jams, so J Bands hops out of his car to defend himself. The Moscow driver pulls off when he notices that SA is injured, but instead of taking him to a hospital, he sadly dumps him off on the road. SA screams for help and some passersby come to check on him. They call an ambulance, but sadly it's too late.
Sheesh. Nigga just
SA
dumped
was
him.
just 18 years old and truly a star in the making. The Harlem Spartans were upset with the Moscow driver's selfish decision, and directly after the incident, something strange would happen. Moscow 17 rapper Incognito was found deceased in his neighborhood. To this day, no one knows who did it or why it happened. It could have been the Harlem Spartans, 150, or anyone else. Either way, South London was getting way out of control. Nothing like this had ever happened before.
Like, look at
least
they
not to
buses,
this
bro.
extent. The rest of
They got
2018
double
was
deckers
really bad in South
for
London.
regular
This is
city,
partly
regular
because the Harlem
transportation.
Spartans kept sliding on 150. This resulted in 4 members receiving over 10 years in prison.
Damn.
It's safe to say that the police were all over the Spartans, monitoring their every move. The Harlem Spartans' demise is incomprehensible. So many members gone in such a short period of time. So at this point, all they had is Biz and Lowski getting out soon. For the longest time, Biz was able to stay out of trouble, but a very strange occurrence would put this to the test: the random diss. In December of 2019, a group of guys from all the way across South London began dissing SA. The guys are from the district of Lewisham and call themselves the Catch Pages. Well, of course, Biz wanted to figure out why they dissed his late friend. December 6, 2019. Biz messages the 2 dissers on social media. These would be Jediah Param and Elijah Morgan. Well, in the messages, they agree to meet up at Deptford Creek. This is a neutral area where both sides can feel comfortable. 3 p.m. Biz drives out to Deptford Creek. A few minutes later, the Catch Pagans arrive in a taxicab. When they arrive, Biz allegedly tries to attack them but drops his weapon. So the Catch Pagans jump out of the cab and pounce on him relentlessly. Biz tries to get away, but his attempt is unsuccessful.
Damn.
Another Harlem Spartan
Nigga
gone.
thought he was
Biz
him.
was ultra talented just like the rest, which makes it even more sad. Well, thankfully, the entire incident was recorded on surveillance cameras. Both of the men pleaded non-guilty, claiming self-defense. However, their actions were deemed as excessive and they both were charged in the first degree. Each member got a life sentence, even though the courts proved that Biz was the initial aggressor. That's because in England, they don't have the same rights as we do in America. Do you guys think that this is fair? Let me know in the comments. So here we are at the start of 2020, and let me list off all of the members and what happened to them. First, Lowski missed 3 crucial years in the Harlem Spartans' growth. Then Chuds got sentenced to 14 years for the passing of Lil D. Then Harlem rapper JoJo got 7 years for robbery. Then MACK and Blanco went down for possession of arms in a taxicab. They both got 6 years. Then TG Million got 12 years for sliding on 410. After this, SA passes away on the moped. And finally, Biz passes away at the hands of the Catch Pagans. So who was left? Lowski was released in 2019, but this was to a whole new Kennington. All of his friends were gone, and the Harlem Spartans' music buzz was completely done. And unfortunately, shortly after his release, Lowski would be arrested again. So in conclusion, you would assume that the Harlem Spartans are done. And musically, you would be correct. All of the talented rappers are gone. But in South London, the Spartans are as active as they ever were. In fact, since September of 2021, the Harlem Spartans and 150 have been going back and forth. All I have to say is wow. This story was insane. So to all my fellow Americans, London may not be Detroit or Chicago, but if you think it's sweet, you are so wrong. Overall, it's sad to see incidents like this escalate, especially given that London was never this bad. On the bright side, the police seem to do a great job of investigating and putting people away. The Harlem Spartans are truly a case of what could have been. Incredible talent that could have taken over the UK for much longer than they did. And on that note, I hope you enjoyed the video and make sure to leave a...
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm fucking with that. Yeah, these niggas is tweaking. Niggas is tweaking worldwide. Why is niggas tweaking? Nobody knows. Please like, comment, subscribe. I still got scratch-off tickets, man. Leave a like, leave a comment. You could win a scratch-off ticket, bro.